Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to be testing out Procreate because I finally got an iPad and I've been wanting an iPad ever since I've seen people drawing on them, but I can never justify getting it because I already had a tablet that worked perfectly fine, but I finally decided to get one because more and more people are getting them and I just thought it would be a really good solution for being more portable with digital art. Despite it being expensive, and I've been saving up my money for a bit and I thought it was finally time to get one. And I just really wanted one, and I knew I would use it a lot. I just knew it would be good for me. I went to the Apple store and tried out Procreate to make sure that it felt okay to draw on, and a few days later I decided to get one, and I've been thinking about getting one for a really long time, but I never really thought I would, and now I have one, and I didn't think I would make a video about it right away because I've not even been using it for a week. I got it, well, by the time you watch this video, it would be exactly a week because I got it last Sunday, and I'll be uploading this video on Sunday. And the model that I got is the iPad Pro 10.5. I knew that the 12-inch would be too big, and I wanted to splurge a little bit and get the faster model because there's less parallax, and there's a couple other things that make it a little bit better, and I wanted to go the extra mile, the extra money, and get the actual Pro, because there's a 9.7 one that's half the price of the Pro, and it also works perfectly fine with the pencil, and I don't think there's that much of a difference. So if you're on a budget, the 9.7 is a perfectly fine option, and I probably could have just gotten that one, but I really wanted to get the 10.5 inch. So this video isn't going to really be about the iPad, it's not going to be a review, this is just me testing it out for the first time, just like my first impressions. And the clip you just saw is me painting one of those draw this in your style challenges, and it's by Dina Norland, or Norland? I don't know if I'm putting the emphasis in your name right, but it's by her. I'll link her post in the description or in her channel. I was really inspired by her character and I really wanted to try drawing it, and throughout this video I'm just going to be showing you a bunch of different clips of me working on the iPad, a bunch of different speed paints. I was trying to make my own draw this in your style and I couldn't decide on one, but just because I couldn't get it to look the way I wanted it to. I wasn't quite used to the iPad and the characters, like the anatomy. I don't know, I've been a little bit in a slump lately, art-wise. It took me many tries to finally get a draw this in your style, one that I'm gonna post for other people to draw. So if you want to see that, it'll be on Instagram. So I have many different kinds of ways that I can film on the iPad. There's 3 different ways. First of all, in Procreate, that's the program I'm using to paint with. In Procreate, it automatically screen records and it looks, the drawing is completely zoomed out and all you can see are the brush strokes appearing. It doesn't show you the interface at all. If I want to do that, I could do a screen recording, which I also did in this video. And the third way, well, the screen recording would show the interface and the brush panel and the colors. So the first way is just zoomed out, just a drawing. The second way is showing the actual program itself. And the third way is filming the actual screen. So let me know which way is your favorite method for recording on the iPad. The only problem with doing an actual screen grab is that the file format, it doesn't, since it's an Apple product, it doesn't really, like, like Adobe Premiere doesn't want to import the file. I had to convert it first, and it was only an 8-minute clip, so it took like 20 minutes to convert. I just did it just to like test it out. That might not be the most efficient way of getting it to work, but for a really short clip, it worked in this case. And in the future, I might have to figure out a better solution to get the clips to import in Premiere, because I know that Apple products sometimes don't communicate between like PC devices very well. I'm not an Apple user, but I guess I am now because I have an iPad. So it was kind of a learning curve for me, but it's a really good tablet. It's really fast, it's really responsive. It's just, it feels so nice to work on, though the way the pen feels on the screen took some getting used to, because I'm used to a matte tablet with a matte screen, because it's a Cintiq, and I'm so used to the screen of the Cintiq, and I'm so used to working on it because I've had it for a couple of years, that it was a really big adjustment going to the glossy screen. And I know you can get a matte screen protector, but I'm kind of worried that it's going to wear down the tip of the pencil or take away from the sharpness of the screen. So I'm going to continue working with the smooth screen. I'm getting used to it actually, so I'm going to keep going and see if that works for me. And eventually you'll see the clip of when I actually recorded the program itself. There's a couple issues, like I mentioned. The file format isn't, like, it's an MP4 file format, but for some reason Premiere didn't like it for some reason, so I got it to work, like I said. The second problem is that the aspect ratio is not 16:9. It looks more closer to 4:3 or whatever the iPad is. So you get those black bars on the side, and it's not the worst thing in the world. And the other problem is that you can see me zooming in and out of the drawing over and over, and if this was a really long painting, it might get really distracting if I'm constantly zooming in and out, because it is the smaller model, so I don't have as big of a screen, so I do have to pan around the canvas quite a bit. But I actually really like having the smaller, the 10.5 inch. I like having that size because it's really portable. And if you want to know the things I bought for it to kind of protect it, I just got a basic case. I got one of those like rubbery plastic holders to keep the cap of the pencil from getting lost, and the adapter to charge the pencil. I bought a kit with a bunch of things like that to keep the little small pieces from getting lost. And I also got a kind of a padded sleeve for it, so if I wanted to actually take it outside, like in a backpack or something, I wouldn't feel too bad putting it just like a bare iPad. I'd feel much better having it in the sleeve, so that's why I got that. I plan to do a future video once I've used this thing for much longer, because like I said, I'm not very experienced with it yet, and it took me a long time to get the hang of it, and I still don't quite have the hang of it. And the one thing I wish that it had that would make it 100 times better is if the Apple Pencil had a button on it, because I always use the button on any other tablet pen. I guess Wacom and like Huion and a bunch of other brands, they always have a button on their pen. And I use the pen as the eyedropper tool, the button on the pen. But the Apple Pencil doesn't have a button. In order to eyedrop colors, you have to press and hold with your finger. And it does slow it down. It doesn't slow it down too much, but I eyedrop so many colors that it does slow down my process quite a bit. So I guess I have to kind of get used to being more careful with what colors I use, because I tend to kind of like, it's a lot of trial and error when I'm painting digitally, because I know I can always fix any mistake I make really easily, so I'm not too careful with what I do, and I should be more careful. And maybe this getting me to go a bit slower when I'm choosing colors and painting in general, maybe it'll make me be more careful when I paint. So this video has 4 speed paints in it total. I'm pretty sure there's 4. The one at the beginning where I drew someone else's draw this in your style. The middle one is a sketch. There was a sketch before this one, and the last one. I'm having a lot of fun with the iPad. If you're thinking of getting one, I would definitely recommend you go to an Apple store and test it out, because that's how I knew that it would work for me. It just felt so natural to draw on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it's very late. I guess it's been a week since my last video. I like to do 2 videos a week, but I've been taking it easy lately, but I want to get back to my schedule very soon. I hope you found this video interesting, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask, although I might not be able to answer very much because this is still quite a new tool to me and I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff, but if you do, let me know. If you want to see my Draw This in Your Style post, I'm going to put it on Instagram, and that's always linked in the description. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.